wishing to introduce written material into the record at the public meeting on any item are requested to provide a copy of written material to the city clerk prior to the meeting date so that material may be distributed to the committee prior to the meeting. Speakers must restrict their comments to an item as it appears on the agenda and stay within the 3-minute time limit. The chair has the discretion of limiting total discussion time for an item. So let's move down to roll call. City clerk.
Member Overton?
Here.
Chamber Representative Joan Mingoring?
Here.
And Member McCune?
Here.
And let's see, Vice Chair Stephanie Codling?
Here.
And Chair Claffey?
Here. All right. Do we have any changes to the agenda today?
No changes from
Okay.
staff.
Any changes from the committee? All right, I'll take a motion.
So moved. To accept.
In the second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Nay. Okay. All right, let's move on to a public comment, and this is the time for any member of the public to address the marketing committee on any matter not on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city. The Brown Act, with limited exceptions, does not allow the marketing committee or staff to discuss issues brought forth under public comment. The board cannot take action on non-agenda items. Concerns may be referred to staff or placed on the next available agenda. Do we have any public comment on Zoom?
There are no comments from anyone on Zoom, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Do we have any public comments in the room? And
Sure.
Tina, is Helena for item 2?
I don't have the agenda in front of me, but
Oh.
probably.
Just use the city website to discuss marketing event, to market events.
No, I think she wants to speak about the event that she's working on.
Okay, so I think now would probably be the best time.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I was on the agenda because I didn't see it.
Nope.
Yeah, hi. I'm here as I'm wearing my President of the Lake County Chamber of Commerce hat. And Laura Samuel and I met with Tina a few weeks ago about having an event here in Clearlake. We're really excited about it. A 5K, 10K run. The Chamber of Commerce would host it, put it on, everything together. I've already ran the route, and I would really like to showcase your beautiful park. I'd love it to start and finish in Austin Park. I'd love for everyone to see just Clearlake. I feel like if you haven't been to Lake County in the past 5 years, you really haven't been to Lake County, especially with all the work that you've been doing here. And I think it's a great way to align with what's going on with blue zones. Health would already take care of this too. They're great money makers. They bring a lot for the county, and I just see this as a beginning of having a 5K, 10K here. We already picked out dates, sponsors. I have everything lined up. I'm a really experienced runner. I'm training for the Napa Valley Marathon myself, and I think this would be a good event, and just wanted to see what you guys thought about it too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what was the date again?
August 27th.
Yep. It's on the calendar.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's great that your roads are being addressed, and I think the best way to kind of showcase it is making people run through them.
Mm-hmm.
It was a beautiful run that I did a couple weeks ago, just doing the 5K, and then I'm going to see what the 10K would be like. I was going to continue it along Lakeshore, turn on Palmer to Ole, and then I know Ole gets to Howard, is that right? And then it ends at the park. And we're thinking after the race is done, we can have a great health fair. I've already been talking with Blue Zones about it, and they're already on board with it. We've laid out all the work, and I just think it'd be a really great opportunity to showcase Clearlake. So I'm excited. Have the sponsors. I just want the buy-in from the city and the support with it too. Obviously, we're gonna have to put cones out, stuff like that, but I think running is really good for a community, so.
Could you describe the route for us again?
Yeah, so starts and ends, I started right on, Olympic. Yeah, I was at the corner, I was like right by the police station. I started right there, went all the way up to Burns Valley, made a left and just ran all the way down Burns Valley. And then I made a left at Burns Valley Road there by the senior center. And that turns all the way to, keep going and it went around. Turned into Arrowhead, and then I made a left, I believe it was Pomo Road, because that turned into Lake Shore.
Yeah.
So, and it was a clean 5K, easy.
Okay.
There was a few things that I saw that needed to be addressed, but we have plenty of time for that. And so for the 10K, instead of ending where I started at Olympic Drive there by the police department at the corner, continue to go down a few miles, and then I think it's Palmer. Yeah, I would make a left at Palmer, run up to Ole, and then be done back at the park. And I've driven it, I just haven't ran that part yet. So.
Did you look at East Lake Drive? It's been closed off to cars, but it's still a street.
Oh, I'm not opposed. You know your city better than me.
Well, that's my daily run.
East Lake Drive?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
Homo, East Lake Drive.
How long is that run? Like, how long would you say it is?
I do a mile and a half, but I have my own little loop I do. You could mix it up however you want.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'd definitely love to talk to you and see what your route's like too. It's always nice to run with someone else too. I think it's a great opportunity. It makes money. I've already kind of priced it out at different price points, and it's just the chamber's willing to do this, and I have the support of my board of directors, and I think we need more in Clearlake.
Is there anything else you need? Any support that you're missing right now?
No, if I could get on your Wi-Fi, I'd love to show you the logos that we came up with. I just wanted to get an A-OK. Oh, thank you. And then I'm gonna just open it up for signups and put it out on the web. Thank you. I don't know. Do you have any concerns first?
I think we talked about, we'd like to have a run here, so
Yeah.
this is fitting perfect with what we had talked about,
Yeah.
we'd like to see.
It's not a concern, it's more of how are you getting the word out, and are you marketing to outside of the county?
Yes, I'm going to. It's all gonna be done online. There's lots of different event signups, like Eventbrite is what I use for the Winery Association, but they have race roster that I like for runs, and then basically I wanna make sure it's officially okay with you first, and then I wanna have a map of where you're running, because runners were crazy finicky people. We wanna know where we're going and what we're doing, where are the water stops, where's the first aid, where are the bathrooms, and then you just put it up, and then there's so many different groups and websites to get this out, and I think this would be exciting. I'm happy to do the legwork to approach all of the high schools, the high school track teams.
Mhm.
I've been talking with Becky Salado where everyone needs volunteer times too, and it just grows each year the more we get about. So I feel the more that the lead time we have before August, the more people will sign up. And then we keep doing this for 5 years, and then maybe we'll have a marathon in Lake County, and I think that'd be great. I'm really excited about this. So, and if you have any questions, yes.
The 5K and the 10K would be simultaneous?
No. 5Ks, 10K runners, or more, just the longer the distance, the more serious runners are gonna get. I would have the 10K runner start at 8 o'clock, and then the 5K start at 8:30. I've already been talking to other experienced runners around the area. I don't know if you know Lake County Milers, they're very interested in getting involved, so you'd have lead runners to make sure that people know where the course is, and I'm just basically don't lose that person, and then they'll tell you where to go. Or you have them on a bike too, and you have pacers also. So I've thought of every detail.
Since part of this is gonna be on a pretty heavily residential area,
Yeah.
what's the plan for getting people in and out of their driveways?
You have to have, that's where the city comes in. We're gonna have to very much communicate with, I don't know if they're Caltrans signs, and just saying, this road will be closed from 6 AM till 12 AM or 12 PM this day.
So my reason for asking that question
Yeah.
is because you're already gonna keep Olympic busy, and then you're gonna keep Lakeshore busy, kind of not simultaneously. And I know that it's great for that to go right in front of the visitor center, in front of
Yeah.
Highlands Park, but I'm thinking that possibly instead of turning back down on Pomo, the 10K could keep going to Borax Lake and come back possibly, which gives a different scenery than
Okay.
just going through a city environment. But it's just an idea to keep
Yeah.
kind of away from all the traffic rather than just one area of traffic.
Okay, I love it. I
That's a
don't know
really
the
good
city
idea
as
for
well. If I could get a map from Tina showing me a possible route, I'm happy to go do it.
And I have no idea if that's
Well,
10K.
we-
Okay.
You could do East Lake Drive, like I was
Uh-huh.
talking about,
Okay.
off of the route that you currently have planned,
Mhm.
you would turn right on East Lake Drive.
Okay,
And that goes pretty deep into the
Yep.
numbered streets where you can cut over to the road that goes to the Borax.
and all the roads are paved and everything?
Oh,
East Lake
except
is
for
bad
East Lake.
shape.
East
Oh.
Lake is not.
It's dirt.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna suggest even a little different, just to throw it out, because I'm thinking of traffic. For you, not to be negative, we have a lot of older people that, are fit to be tied when there's even bicyclists out, just to let you know. I would suggest is getting as fast as you can off the main street and doing Burns Valley. That road is clean, it's a good, running through the orchards in Burns Valley and then coming back. Maybe come up Davis instead of Olympic, so you keep the main thoroughfares clear. And those are all paved, nice level roads, not a lot of potholes. Because potholes are dangerous for runners.
There's liability, they need to be paved roads.
Burns Valley
I'm
has
sorry,
virtually
Burns
no
Valley's
shoulder.
horrible.
Yeah, Burns Valley has virtually no shoulder, and the area where it's twisty is kind of dangerous to be on foot. But if you close the road, I guess it's
That's
not a
what I'm
problem.
saying.
Yeah, you have
If
to
it's
close.
closed, there's
Yeah.
still ways that people can get around. In Burns Valley, you can still get around and get off the area. Whereas if you're looking in the avenues, as we know, if they're, like, we've had this problem when there was a fire, you've got one entrance and one exit because of the roads out there. So that would be, and especially in August, that would be a little concern, and just trying to keep your main thoroughfares as open as much as possible.
Yeah, Woodland
And that's a
allows
nice ride.
access from the other side of Burns Valley.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that you're gonna have to only close one lane, not the entire road,
Right.
or else I know Willie Cepeda, he wants to be able to have some movement just in case there's an emergency to bring in the emergency vehicles, and that allows ease for the residential folks to have access somewhere.
So typically when you do these runs, you'll have like a truck, I'm assuming maybe a city truck, that will be after the last runner. As soon as the last runner goes, the road is open again, and that person picks up the cones or something like that. This can't work unless you don't have the roads closed for the safety of everybody.
Right.
So that's why, and they're fast. I mean, at 5K, you know, we limit it where if you're not done in 2 hours, you know,
Probably shouldn't
you're by
run.
yourself. Yeah, you should, we don't encourage it. I'm also putting there that no dogs allowed, I'm sorry, we can't do that too. And you have it in different categories as pacers. Anyone that's with their stroller, I really just kind of discourage strollers too.
It's another potential obstacle.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's gonna get the community involved, which is what I want, and align it with blue zones, I think that's the good way to go. But a 5K, the whole race can be done in like 2 hours, and that's with very slow walkers. Yeah, it's 3.1 miles. It's
And
very
so-
doable.
Even
Is
slow
it-
walkers should be able to
isn't
get
it-
through that in
Yeah.
an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
do it in like
Yeah, I
an
said
hour.
walk slow and get it done in an hour.
Yeah,
and I'm
well, it's
walking
good to
slow.
give yourself just the buffer. It's gonna be closed from like 6 to 10,
Yeah.
but it'll be open, and that's. I mean, I don't want to deter from your businesses, and I appreciate all this candor and being very transparent with me.
I think that if you get the approval from the city, your next step is to go visit with Chief White and Willie Cepeda, the fire chief.
Right.
Because I know I've talked about doing things like that. And because there's not an area like Kelseyville, for example, where you can close down the block, those are all businesses.
Yeah.
Here, there's residential areas, and they have to be able to move
Sure.
things along. So I'm sure he'll work with you because it's a moving
Yeah.
event, not a stagnant, just sitting there type of event like a market.
Uh-huh.
So I think that'll make it easier, but I would suggest that that's definitely your next step after
Yeah.
this.
What if I schedule a meeting with, Chief White, Willie Cepeda, and the Public Works Superintendent?
Yes.
And then we all sit down with maps and say what the, get their feedback all at once, and then
Uh-huh.
we can continue planning off of their feedback.
Yeah, I just want this to happen.
Right.
That's the goal. I want it to happen. I want Clearlake to be showcased.
Thank you for choosing us.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
absolutely.
Cause the city of Lakeport was asking me to do it there, but I was like, no, I wanna do it in Austin Park first. This park is beautiful. I want.
like you that much better.
Yeah. Well, it should start and end there, and to have an Adventist Health, they're like, they put a lot of work and commitment into that park. Let's have a health fair afterwards, and this is all good for everybody. I'm not reinventing the wheel with this. This has been done plenty of times, it just hasn't been done here. Let me show you really quick for some logos that we came up with. And I'm calling it, I'm seeing these for the first time too. I wanna call it Run Lake County. This is the inaugural race, and we keep coming it back, and we're gonna really welcome all the tourists and visitors here, and hope that they come back. I want heads in beds, I want people at restaurants afterwards. Runs can can make the city a lot of money too, so that's what I'm about, and that's what I'm trying to do for the Lake County Chamber. So, I don't know, I'm happy to meet with anyone else, I'm happy to listen to any other input. I could get a map of all the streets, but it has to, the two things is that we have to close down the roads, and they have to be paved roads.
Okay.
Cause then I have to advertise it as a trail run, and if it's not meant to be a trail run, that's just like false.
Use.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
an
a
MUX.
suggestion might need to, and I'd be glad to take you if you want, we could take you driving some of the roads and some of the potentials, the one that Michael's talking about, the one on, and see what you think, cause you're a runner.
Yeah.
And I'm kinda get an idea so you narrow it down before your meeting with, everybody,
Okay.
so.
Yes.
You said you had logos? Are
Yeah.
you able to share?
They're not, I don't know. This is what we have so far. This is what was sent to me by our graphic designer. Basically, it'd be in a circle, cause this would be on the shirt on the front. It'd be the date, and then, just Run Lake County, and then Austin Park, just the date, and just really showcasing it. So I just asked for a runner, and then what I want in the background is something like this, Mount Canocti and Clearlake in the back. Does that make sense? Sorry, that's me. Yeah, sorry, here we go.
Well, it's just the way I'm at.
I'm so sorry, I thought I had it off. Okay.
Yeah, because we have lots of nice pictures from our
Yeah,
lake.
and I think the views of Mount Canocti from over here,
It's the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I don't know, any other ideas or any other input? I don't wanna take up too much time of your meeting.
I think for me, the important thing are the safety elements, so I think
Mhm.
the conversation with the chiefs will be enlightening, and that will give you a lot of guidance on how to move forward.
Yeah, I can't advertise this until I have a seal of approval from the city, so.
Imagine there's gonna be marketing opportunity for businesses?
Yes, definitely, to be on the shirts, at the sponsors, have a booth at the wellness fair afterwards. We have people already approaching us of, what the runners, there's always like a runners area, and Laura Samuel will be giving out like trophies for, fastest speed in different age categories and stuff like that.
I can't sell my adult snow cones there.
No, yeah, so,
In the health fair.
yeah, the health fair. So, I think it's good for just this kind of mindset would be great for here. Yeah. So, so my email is director@lakecountywineries.org. Please reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I really would love to partner with you. Tina, do you think we could meet with Chief White and Chief Cepeda in the next, maybe this second or third week of March, or maybe sooner?
Okay, yeah, I'll try to reach out to them and see what works for them, and then I'll loop, the superintendent of public works as well.
Okay, so, no, I just wanna be transparent, cause I think that's best. If I can't get a seal of approval by the end of March, I'm gonna go to Lakeport.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm coming to you guys first.
Look at this negotiation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pressure is on.
Yeah, well, it's just,
That's a lot of time.
yeah, I think so.
She's gotten her event stuff in and
Yeah.
gotten the fees waived too.
No, we need to get the event packet, but I think she's been holding off to make sure that everybody is, on board. But we'll get that done, when we meet as well.
Yeah, I'm easy to work with.
Totally.
I take constructive criticism well. You know your city better than me, and I just wanna learn about it and market it. That's my goal.
I know we can do it, I just want, I think it's important to get the
Yeah.
Public Works Department involved as well as both the chiefs,
definitely.
because I just wanna make sure that there's no
This event can't work without them.
no safety issue that we just don't know because we don't know the road.
Okay,
That's my concern.
great.
But I
Okay.
think it's totally, my opinion, I like it.
Yeah,
So it seems like next steps for the folks who do wanna suggest alternate routes. Joan, it sounds like you're gonna take the lead
I'll
on,
be glad to take
yeah.
you around
and if you have some
Okay.
suggestions
Show
as
you.
well, maybe put a
Whenever-
little
whenever-
in that.
whenever-
runner.
sure.
whenever you're free, I
Okay.
guess. I'll make sure.
Yeah, I
that-
need to
big
get through
head,
barrels
yeah.
and verticals, and then
Looks
I'm
like a
going
Beavis
to
and Butthead.
a food and wine festival for a week in Minnesota, and then I come back, I'm gonna
That's
focus
the
on
arm.
this.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but I'd
we're
love
trying
to
to
meet
go
with the
through the
chiefs
finish
before
line.
I go to Minnesota,
Okay, when are you leaving?
March 4th.
March 4th.
And I'll be back March 7th, but then the next day, so maybe before or after that.
Okay.
So
That-
sounds
That
good.
works.
Sounds like you have some next steps. I think
Mhm.
then, once we have approval from, the city agencies, then that's another opportunity to come back in here and then we can leverage our networks to market for you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If I
Absolutely.
can offer two ideas,
Okay, I love it.
if you have an artiste, not an artist, but an artiste,
Uh-huh.
see if they can find the shape of the lake and
Yeah.
turn that into a runner.
This is yours.
Because
Artist.
you could do it, I'm looking at it as it could be really kind of a characteristic.
Like a
thing.
caricature type of art drawing of a
Okay.
character running through a finish line almost.
Okay.
And just as another idea, your name,
Uh-huh.
Run the Lake, is a catchier name than Run Lake County.
Run the
Yeah, I
lake.
don't think that-
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
And the reason for that too is it's all over Run the Lake,
Mm-hmm.
it's kinda like,
Well, Run Lake County is too. that's
well, I know,
interesting.
but for some reason Lake
It's
County
because of
is-
Run the Jewels.
well,
I
and
don't
Lake
know why.
County,
I like the Run the
if
Lake,
you
that's a
Google
good
Lake
idea.
County, Lake County, California doesn't come up first.
Right.
Lake
No.
County, Illinois does.
Well, I'm changing that.
Yeah.
I'm changing that. And let's just be,
We
let's,
all are.
like, we're all adults here, let's just be transparent. We're competitive, right? I would really love to see your city council go against their city council in the race. I would love to see the fire departments race each other, who can raise, who would have the most runners.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
If you think of Kenny while you look at that caricature of the lake, I think it fits perfectly.
okay.
The problem is, they're young and we're not.
Well,
We
no,
have
I
one
just,
young one on our board.
I mean, Adventist Health and Sutter, the hospitals are gonna go against each other. Who is gonna have the biggest group registration? Who, the fastest person from there. I love it. I think competition is a good thing. It's healthy and it's for a good cause.
And
So-
what I would also add, I like the idea of the only looking at the paved roads,
Yeah.
because I think that makes it accessible for all, including those that are
Yeah.
ADA.
Yeah,
If somebody wants to be in a wheelchair and take part of the, 5K, 10K, they can.
Yeah.
That's up to them, at least that makes it an option versus
Wheelchair
not.
and you push me.
That was not the idea. Just make sure there's no hills anymore.
okay. It was challenging. There was parts of Burns Valley where I was like, this is a steep incline. This is a good challenge. I don't know. I really want to see this come to fruition.
Please.
Yeah. Okay. Please let me know if there's anything else you have any suggestions for. I'm going to go to my next meeting. I really thank you for your time. I hope to hear from you guys soon, okay?
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.
All right, let's move to business items. We're actually gonna start with item number 2. And just so everyone knows, we do have a hard stop at 3 o'clock today. So we're gonna start with item number 2, discussion on use of the city website to market events. And who brought this one up?
Well, point of me, kind of my idea was, I suggested we have a Visit Clearlake website, with the idea that in my first meeting here, I asked, what was our goal? And the goal is presented as to market outside people to the fact of why they should visit Clearlake, have a business in Clearlake, or buy a house in Clearlake. And so I thought a Visit Clearlake website that addressed those three missions would be a good idea. And in terms of marketing of upcoming events on the city's website, I don't really remember what that was about.
And I believe that, sorry. I believe that there is already a Visit Clearlake website. It's just not called Visit Clearlake, it's called Downtown Clearlake. And I think that we can complement that website to make it what you're thinking of Visit Clearlake. I know that David's worked hard on it at least for the last 2 years, I wanna say, maybe even longer. But that doesn't mean that it can't use more content and more continuous updates and whatnot. And
Yeah,
that's
well-
where the extra effort from others come in rather than just relying on David.
Yeah, it certainly has tailed off as my schedule has gotten a bit busier. And I think that can be a platform that we can use if we didn't want to, the problem with using the city website, as I understand it, is that the city staff would be the ones that have to update that, and that is a bottleneck for us.
Is there any way, kind of like how you can bring Facebook or Twitter feeds right into a web page, that you could bring an event schedule from downtown Clearlake to pop up in a certain area of the Clearlake website so that it automatically populates it rather than having to use staff time for that?
Yeah, we absolutely could do that. I think the challenge we have right now is that downtown
Just
Clearlake
keeping that
isn't
up to
being
date.
populated at the moment as well as it should be. But how, with the things that we've done on that website in the past, between the Soapbox Derby, the Christmas lights, like, we actually do have a pretty solid following on that site. And Michael, I would absolutely love to have you take a look and see if you can build off of the following you already have there. And then maybe just convert that to get to what you want to achieve.
So visitclearlake.com is available, $8.
$8. So my thought is, and it takes skill sets and time, but what if there was, so we talked about the form last time, right? It's all paper form, no digital. What if there was a digital form that suddenly if you hit enter and submit and approve, it creates its own page, because submit a picture, submit this, submit that, that way, boom, it automatically populates and creates an event page without having to do any work. It's gonna be simplistic what the page looks like, but at least it provides a page that then would be able to go out of that. Just thinking out loud of things that can be done.
You're right, I don't think I have the skill set to automate that yet, but maybe that's something that Michael has.
Google has the
You
skill
gotta have
sets.
A skill set, good grief.
To automate what he suggested,
I'm
yes.
shocked you
I'm sorry,
don't,
I'm
you
sorry.
can't.
If there's a will, there's a way.
I've destroyed my image in Stephanie's mind. No, you're absolutely right, and the reason why I use something like Squarespace, for example, is because I don't actually have as deep of a skill set as Michael potentially has, to leverage that. And add some automation.
And a hand raise.
Oh, on that? Well, we'll keep it in the committee for the next few minutes. So Michael, if you were to do a visit Clearlake or repurpose the downtown Clearlake site, what would you hope to get out of that? What type of content would you want on there?
Well, I just listen to whether it's a client or this committee on what the goals are, and try to figure out how I can support that. And if the goal of the marketing committee is to market the city of Clearlake to the greater California or wider community about why they would want to buy a home here, have a business here, or visit here, then those are the three main categories of content the website would have. And so the visit, and as I suggested as our last meeting, and actually it's all coming back to me now, a lot of this content we could probably port from other websites in the county that already have good content. So we could port over a calendar from one of the many calendars into an iframe. For the why visit is going to be about events. Why buy is probably going to be about new building opportunities, or I don't know what. So maybe there's some information already out there on the city page that we can just port over. The way I envisioned this was, I built a website 2 days ago in one day, a fully functional, complete website. Most people have the idea that website builds are this very expensive, long, drawn-out, complex process, but I've been doing this the entire length of the internet, and it's not for me. So I think that if we borrow content, port content, and just make it a simple three-pronged, three-focused website, would be pretty straightforward.
So I feel like that is different than the vision for downtown Clearlake. Downtown Clearlake is a platform for the events, whereas this is more of,
Marketing the city.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Which both are incredibly valuable.
Oh, good.
So you're thinking we should just buy it for $6? I mean,
Well, I get special
It's,
pricing, I think
it's
it's
not
like 12.
just $6.
I think it's $12. So, that pays for the name. And you have to pay that for, that's the domain name for every year, you have to pay the $12, correct? Okay. And then the cost of doing the site itself. What?
Well, I do a lot of volunteer work.
Are you saying you volunteer to do it?
It would take a day.
Okay.
So, yes, I mean, if there's budget for this, clearly I like to make a living, but I'm primarily trying to support my local community so that the community can help provide me with a living. I don't wanna charge the chamber and the city, you know, for me helping expand my own recognition.
Right.
I think this is worth exploring.
I definitely do.
Does anyone else have any questions, any thoughts or concerns before we kind of get into public comment and then maybe next steps?
I am public comment. I would just suggest, Michael, check out downtown Clearlake to maybe stuff you can steal, and then come back to us and what is your vision of what it would be and how it would look. That way you don't have to do the entire website, but at least maybe provide some type of imagery.
I would also, and I feel like I've hidden a lot of the stuff that we had done in the past, and last year I converted more towards an event calendar. So maybe I can share some of the stuff that's hidden right now as well. Visit clearlake.com as well with the TID board and what they've been putting together. There's a lot of content on there. That is, I imagine, public domain because it's through public funds.
Purchased by government money.
Right, so we should be able to leverage all of that. There's a lot of really great content on there. Some of the stuff we're creating for the event marketing as well is stuff we can repurpose, like, you know, if we're featuring stuff in the local area, maybe not like Port, real quick, like Cash Creek, all this stuff around here. This is already written in, we're gonna be doing more, so I think content will be coming in. We should be able to identify it.
It's not the idea that we don't have content, it's the idea it doesn't have to go print it down and put it into a form. That's really, what it takes. And as far as budget for us, we don't have much right now. I don't think we have a budget.
We
Then I'm
know.
talking your language.
Always, I run a nonprofit, you're always, when some people say they'll do it, that's my language.
Melissa, you said we had a hand raised on Zoom?
Yeah, it looks like Colleen. Go ahead, Colleen.
Can you hear me okay?
You
Yep.
can?
Okay, first, I like the idea of working with downtown Clearlake. I couldn't hear all of David's responses, but that would make more sense. Right now, I am already on a web page on Facebook for Visit Clearlake, which is 2 words, in Lake County. So I think there would be some confusion as far as using Clear Lake City or whatnot between the two. So I just would like to put in my 2 cents about downtown Clear Lake would be a better response. And then at the same time, I would like to say if Mr. Michael there could build a website in one day. We are still waiting here at the chamber to get feedback from you on our website that you were going to give a price on.
The deadline is this evening, and I've got it here on my computer.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
And then your concern about blurring performance with the Facebook page. Facebook pages don't do very well on Google searches. So if one searches Visit Clearlake, California on Google, I don't see that Facebook page coming up. So I think they meet 2 different marketing areas.
I would agree. Okay, I would propose some next steps here, Michael, so that you're not doing a hero effort, which is what we're trying to avoid here. So maybe you could, for our next meeting, if you wanna just get it started, get the ball rolling, you're welcome to. But I think if you could put together a couple of things that you'd like to see inputted from the community, you know, let's leverage us to gather content for you. In terms of look and feel and branding, I think we'd have to have a conversation with Alan, and then there's a graphic designer I'm working with as well for a marketing project that we're doing. You know, if we're gonna do a visit Clearlake, I think the branding should be aligned with what the city is proposing, with some of the new downtown strategies and new look and feel. So I think those would be the next two steps, is we have a meeting to discuss the branding side of it, and then you put down what you would like to see on this site so that you can mobilize us next meeting. Does
Very
that
good.
work?
Yes, sir.
And then we can talk about, all right, well, we don't think this is gonna work, we think this is gonna work. But that, I think that would be the forum to do it.
Very good.
Does anyone else have any other thoughts, or are we good with that
I
guidance?
think that sounds good.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
All right, we are gonna move back to item number 1, area of focus for 2022. And the reason why I moved this is because we have a bit of a hard stop, and while we all did some homework, we didn't do all the homework. The second part of the homework being event grading. So here's the phase timeline. I know it's a little bit tough for.
I hated that. I was like, I don't know.
You
too.
did
I have
so
to
bad.
apologize. I had surgery on my hand, and I'm just barely getting to where I can do this, so it's been really hard for me to.
I'm
do
disappointed you
everything
can't
with
type with your feet, Joyce. I mean,
Well, I tried.
at some point, well, I mean, first Stephanie's mad at me, I can't do automation. I'm now disappointed in you that you can't type with your feet.
So practice.
So this month, the goal was to take all those graded spreadsheets, hand it off to Tina and the city, and then have them consolidate the grades, and then pick out 2 or 3 or 4 events for us to choose from here. The goal then would be, once we say, okay, it's gonna be a Ninja Warrior event, I'm using that as
I
an
love the
example.
idea, love the idea.
I know you do.
That I will compete against Lakeport with.
So the idea here was to then, you know, deliberate, figure out what we wanted to do what we wanted to focus on for this half of the year, and then dive into the buyer's journey. So if it's a Ninja Warrior event, you know, here's an example. If I'm a Ninja Warrior host, how do I start interacting with the city? So we're gonna do this next meeting. We're just gonna push everything back a month so that we can spend this period, the homework will be to get those graded sheets in. But here's what I'm thinking about with the buyer's journey. We've reached out to a Ninja Warrior host, whether that's through Facebook or email, or Tina's called every one of them. But once we reach out to them, we grab their attention, we want them to do an action. So in this example, it's an email. So in that email, there's a CTA, a call to action, that sends them to a landing page that we've created that is specifically designed to promote Clearlake as a Ninja Warrior hub. On that landing page, what I want to do in our workshop next time is talk about what we think should be on that landing page to convince a Ninja Warrior host, or an Oktoberfest host, or a 5K host that Clearlake is the right venue. We're already starting to do some of that work here, but this is the opportunity to get really specific. Now that we have all the wineries, now that we have all the parks, well, how does that translate to 5Ks and Ninja Warrior events? What I want to then do is talk about that landing page and what else can go on there. So for Ninja Warriors, they might need construction companies. They might need lighting companies in the area. That's an opportunity for us to start thinking about potential objections to coming here and start answering them before we even have to pick up the phone and talk to them. So next, you know, we get them to do an action on that landing page, whether that's to fill out a lead form, or to call the city, or to you know, send in an application, whatever we decide that journey is going to be. We then reach out to them, and then they're gonna say, well, I don't like Clearlake because of this, I don't like Clearlake because of that. I wanna brainstorm what some of those objections would be. We're not gonna get all of them, but if we start, then if Tina's talking to a Ninja Warrior house, I keep saying Ninja Warrior house, it sounds silly, but, you know, maybe they say there's not enough ninjas in the area. Well, then Tina can then email them a one sheet that says there's actually so many ninjas in the area. You just can't see them because they're ninjas.
That's gonna be your new job.
Ninja warrior.
Ninja Queen.
So that's why selecting a single event is important, because we can actually build a package around this. And this is what I talk about with, you know, doing a single, very focused marketing campaign, because we're going to create a package, but then visit clearlake.com could have a blog post about all the ninjas in the area. It's our special, come ninja watching, right? Like all the material that we create about the wineries and the parks, they all have multiple uses. So I'm not just asking you to do these things because I love forcing you to type with your feet. So this is going to be the goal for next week. We're going to have a workshop around this. So please review that spreadsheet. Get us your grades, and then, you know, we'll talk about the buyer's journey and then the homework for our next meeting. We won't do it this time because we don't have a singular event, but I want to do something similar to what we did with the last homework assignment, and that's start creating very targeted content. If we all take a little piece of it, we can have a landing page up in no time that is incredibly ninja focused.
Can I ask you a quick
Yep.
favor? The homework for the spreadsheet, can you bring that up real quick? That explains what you want us to do, because I kind of made up what 1 and 5 were for the other one. You explained what it was for the first one, but then I'm like, does that mean you get the most amount of people or the least amount of people? That it's the most, just to go over that, because I might have to redo mine.
Okay.
Or just split the numbers.
So I think, and this is a little bit different than what I had in the email, but city workload, 5 is good. So if
Like no workload. Right?
yeah, so Tina doesn't have to find any ninjas. A 1 is she has to
You
track
got a lot
down
of ones on there.
every ninja. But no, that's good, because we want to be honest,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We want to, if we feel like it's going to be a lot of work for us as a city, we want to rate that properly. If all the other grades pan out and it's a 5 everywhere else, it could be something we consider. Community impact, 5 is good. We want something that is a very positive event that we think our community will embrace and really enjoy. Economic viability, this is more for the event host than it is for the city or the community. 5 is good. We think that this is an event that a host can come. You know, Helena came in talking about the 5K. She thinks that this could be a profitable event for the next 5 years. That's what we want. We want folks to come here and succeed without having to lean on sponsors, which, you know, she tapped into our biggest sponsor, Aventus, right? Like, you know, we don't have a ton of big deep pocket sponsors, so we want to have events that can support themselves. And then if companies are interested, businesses are interested in sponsoring, that they're more than welcome to. And then tourism potential. This was an ad. Is this going to draw people to the area? I forget who asked the question, but someone asked, "Are we going to be marketing outside the county for the 5K?" Right? That falls in right here. It's 5Ks are very niche, but people travel for them, right? So you can take that into
So
account.
5 is high amount of tourism. So the reason I asked is because city workload is like 5 is bad because it's a lot of workload and.
No, it's the opposite. 5 means it's turnkey for the
Okay,
city.
perfect, okay. So
The
it's-
higher is always better for
Okay,
us.
okay.
Yep. And then what I'll do is,
And impact, I just gotta write this down, I was confused by that too, so impact 1 through 5, which is good? Which way
it means the community will love it, is a 5.
is a 5?
Yep. And so then what I'll do is, or what I will help Tina do is, or she could probably just do it herself, but we'll put all of the grades in here. You can't really see, but then we'll take a weighted average. We'll rank it based on everyone's opinions, and I really want you guys to pick events that you want to support. So if you see that you've given I don't know, ultimate frisbee all fives, but it's not really something you support, feel free to finagle the numbers, because it's about, we're gonna be investing a lot of time and doing some homework and doing some workshops and marketing whatever we select, so I want this to be something that we're all excited about.
So one of the things, just to let you know that I did do, I think I sent you an email on it, is, just because I wasn't able to, write or anything, I did contact a few people like, the Renaissance to see if we can find a group that actually, just for information,
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be getting back to me, been on vacation. And then, and the circus, no, it was the circus guy that was on vacation, he's getting back to me. The Renaissance people, they haven't been doing anything, but I told them, I'm just looking for information for future, like, would this be a city you would consider coming to? What kind of space do you need and stuff like that? So then he's like, oh, okay, well then I'm gonna turn you over, I'm gonna send an email to this other guy, so we can hopefully get some of that information, because it's always good to have that, so we know, like, we may think, we don't need that much space for an event, but they may tell me differently. I am gonna try to get a hold of, people that do the, reenactments of the Civil War, because that is a big thing everywhere they go, people travel all over for those. I don't know if we have the space for those, so I wanna try to see if I can get a hold of somebody with that kind of information.
And they like to shoot their black powers. Maybe we can do that at Red Bud Park.
Well, so,
Or not, the Red Bud Trailhead.
so, and I think you raised a great point. We all have such great instincts on how to bring events to the city, right? And you basically did persona research right there, which is something that I would wanna do in March. I think what I wanna avoid are hero projects,
I
right?
couldn't type, so. this
Right,
is
right,
something
and-
else.
But, I think everything that you guys feel like we should be doing, we're gonna do at some point in this process, because you have the right instincts, and all I'm doing is structuring it in a way that we can all help each other and do it effectively. Go ahead.
Your last comment a minute ago made me think, I wonder if we should add another column here so that we can individually put whether we would support that event or not. That way, if there's one of these that's all fives, but none of us wants to support it, we'll know that's not what we're not doing.
Well, we're not gonna be doing them anyway.
Well,
Well-
but he just said that he would want us to skew our numbers if we don't support one of these things. And
You
that
said
made
we
me
could
think maybe we
cheat.
should.
I did say you could cheat.
So I was thinking maybe we should have another column where we could mark.
Well, there's
We don't support it.
there's some gatekeeping here, right? So we're gonna submit our grades to Tina, Tina's gonna consolidate. But then if there's something there that the city says, we don't wanna support this, they're gonna just correct. So we could have Ninja Warriors as the highest thing, but Tina hates ninjas, she's allergic to ninja stars, so they're gonna cross that out. Then we're gonna take the top couple, and then we'll deliberate as a crew. And if you say, I want nothing to do with ninjas, and, then we'll have.
Who doesn't like ninjas?
I love
Exactly, exactly. But there could be an event, you're absolutely right.
I'm still laughing at this because I would just have to look at Belinda, because she was the one
She'd
that
be
does
the
all
one who
these
didn't like the
and
ninja.
see what happens when you move up, because now it goes to somebody else and gets picked on. I'm just sitting there thinking, this used to be Melissa, we did this to
Yeah.
Bruno?
There are 2 items on there that you can cross off. You can leave it on, but eventually cross it off. The kayak thing is going to happen. I'm working right now with Water Resources to see if we can have some main entry points where we can have water resources. I'm looking at getting possible guided trips, water trails, and just advertising. It's as simple as just advertising and saying, get your kayaks in the lake on this specific day, let's do it. But if I can get more organized around it, they've already approved that that's possible and that we can do that. They have some funding behind it, so I'm gonna get that done. And that's gonna be all around the lake, not just here. I really wanna get everybody involved. And then I was absolutely pushed and prodded to do the grilling on the green. So I am doing a hero project, grilling on the green. I'm not smiling about it quite yet, like some people are.
I didn't push him, I
Well,
swear.
and you know what you might do, just knowing how grilling on the green went, and it's been very successful in Lakeport. You might wanna put something like cornhole or some kind of a competition, bocce ball, something like that, to kinda go along with it.
Oh, it's gonna be in Austin Park and there's gonna be a basketball tournament,
Oh, okay,
barbecue and basketball.
okay.
All right, so that's it for the timeline. Get your grades in next month. We will go through the workshop as outlined, and we'll have some additional homework. Any questions?
Did your job.
So
Sorry, that
this is available online, on the city website?
No, this is available in your email. There's an
Right.
Excel
Oh,
spreadsheet.
okay, thank you.
I've
Now-
got mine up here, I'll get it filled out, sorry I didn't do it.
No, it's all right. And you know, this is why we're putting the structure. But if
I don't think unless Tina.
I will visit Lake County meeting over to a book direct. Or visit have availability across bed and breakfasts, Airbnb. Me is to have a lot better website and where they're clicking through to and what they're looking for, and a ways away. And I just want to give you guys an update. Analytics are super important in understanding intent. Brilliant.
Being worked on and also coming back around to the picture frame.
Skip that. So we have
Sooner.
we'll talk about visit clearlake.com.
Finished, I just haven't gotten back to how about it.
We'll talk about Bruno's hero update about fish and pictures. On the green
Kayak festival,
and the kayak
will
festival
canoes be allowed?
and the New Year's Eve fireworks.
Anything that's not motorized, we will.
I am still, I'm getting frustrated. Contact who, great guy, he's local, and anyway, I've talked to him on the phone, I've emailed him, I've texted him, and April is supposed to be a huge month for the pros. He's not got happen in April,
Okay.
quite
I think
honestly.
maybe what we should do is concentrate on not necessarily just because he's local, I'm sorry, but it just seems
Well,
like
and I
he's
mean, he's local to the point of, you know, he used to have a kite shop here, and,
Yeah, I used to buy kites off of him, but
yeah.
he's
And,
not
and I
good.
will tell you that, like, the city of Berkeley used to have a huge kite festival, they're not doing it anymore, so it's kind of
I
like,
think if you wanna do a festival, it's not like we can't just say, you know, have places where people can make kites up. It's kinda late for this year though, cause
Yeah.
it's not that far.
yeah.
But,
Well,
I
that's
mean,
why I sort of thought, if at all possible, it'd be great to have it the same weekend as Adventist Health is gonna do their thing in May now. I thought that might work better, so even if it's small, and even a pro to fly, we could maybe get a group of kids to
That's what I say.
put together.
Pros.
We don't need talent agents, we don't need none of that.
I think let's just have a booth that they can come and get a kite and have an area where they can do the kite flying at. That's where you're gonna have to find out with how they're setting up, whether you can do that or not, I think is more important, so.
Okay.
All right, everyone, thank you for coming out. I appreciate all the work, and I'll see you next month or sooner.
I'll probably be calling you in the next couple days.
Tomorrow.
What's going on? Was my